Ashley. I'm going to start off with a statistic today. According to the Humane Society of the United States, 3 million to 4 million animals are euthanized in the United States shelter each year. I found this horrendous. I love all kinds of animals, and finding out that 3 to 4 million were euthanized in a shelter was just heartbreaking to me. A little bit of my credibility, I've obviously been researching just like the rest of you for the last maybe week and a half. I've looked up tons of sites, and I've also adopted a dog from a shelter, and I plan to do it again. Okay, so when I did my surveys, almost everybody except 4 people, 3 which were neutral and 1 who agreed, on euthanization of dogs. And not many of you knew, except for a shot, how they were actually euthanized. So I'm going to tell you how they're euthanized, which is the problem, what causes it, and how we can prevent it or stop it. I got all my information for how they are euthanized on animalpounds.com. The methods are lethal injection, an injection that has chemicals that will cause the animal to stop breathing and slowly just die. Gas chamber, a chamber that holds small cages for each animal that is filled with gases that causes them as well to stop breathing and die. What happens to their bodies after they are euthanized? The most expensive and least common is cremation. Most of the shelters don't have the money to put up for it, so they don't do it. The most used is rendering plant. This is least expensive since truckers normally pick up the bodies for no fee. The truckers get their payment from the rendering plants where the bodies are brought. The rendering plants get their money from the products they produce. Tallow, meat, and blood byproducts, hair byproducts, which are included in everyday products which you and I purchase and use for ourselves and for our animals. To determine what products you may contain rendering plant products, read the labels and look for terms such as hydrolyzed animal protein, blood meal, bone meal, meat byproducts, tallow, etc. Note that all of the rendering plants choose to dispose of household pets in this way. It all depends on the rendering plant. If your local plant does, please understand that such a plant is providing a community service. I don't think that's very good, but and then burial in a landfill. This method is normally not used, but in some counties it's easier for them. Now that I've told you how they're euthanized and how they get rid of their body, let me tell you some of the ways, or some of the reasons that this is. Overpopulation. According to the Humane Society of the United States again, the ratio of dog births to human births is 7-to-1. In 2009, there were over 4 million human births, so that means there was over 30 million dog births. And I know there's not 30 million people who are able to have a dog at this moment, especially if it's in a small area. Another cause is dog owners not sterilizing their dogs. You Love Animals, Prove It, Sterilize Your Pets by Christina Nastilli, a veterinarian who worked for the Montreal Society and Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, says many families let their pets have a litter so their children can experience the miracle of birth, but there are too many healthy, homeless animals being euthanized in shelters to condone this. I found this kind of good that people want to do this, but it's very harmful for the dogs, like she said. If not all the animals have a place to live, they do go to the shelter, and therefore, if they're not adopted in a certain amount of time, they will get put down. Now that I've told you a few causes, let me tell you a way to control this. Adopting a dog. You're saving a dog's life. According to the article, Benefits of Shelter Dog Adoption on Suit101.com by Mia Carter, most shelters are what is known as a kill shelter. This means chronically ill dogs, dogs with serious behavior problems or psychological damage, or dogs who have been in the shelter for a long period of time without finding a home can be put down. So adopting a dog can be a life or death situation for this creature. I found that interesting because I've adopted my own dog, and it does really, you see all the sadness in their little faces when you're walking through. They're so just in that cage all by themselves, and you don't know how long they've been there, and it's really depressing. So, again, sterilizing your dogs. Some people do not get their dogs spaded or neutered because of the price, but according to Cesar Millan from Animal Channel, and his Cesar Millan Foundation says this is a myth. Today there are enough low costs and free spay and neuter programs that this can no longer be an excuse. Plus there are many benefits for your animal. For a female dog, it eliminates the possibility of developing ovarian cancer and greatly reduces the chance of breast cancer. For males, it greatly reduces the chance of prostate cancer. Also, there's benefits to adopting a dog for yourself. Someone with a mental issue. I was reading an article, Rescued by My Dogs, written by Genevieve Cooper, found on EBSCOhost. I learned that Genevieve was raped while on a run. A week later, she was diagnosed with PTSD, post-traumatic stress syndrome. She was having a difficult time coping until she adopted her 2 dogs. She found serenity in knowing that they were there to keep her safe. Now that I told you about what the problem is, which is euthanization, what causes it, and how you can stop it, I want to write on the board a petition that you can sign to help get all shelters to be no-kill shelters. So I'm going to write this up here real fast on the side. This is turning into something that's becoming an epidemic, that these dogs don't have anywhere to go and they've done nothing wrong, but they're being killed. And I don't know, most of you said that you disagreed with it, so I know you are on this side, but it's just something that I really, really care about. And there's ways that we can stop it, the petitions. Maybe going and volunteering at somewhere that's a kill-free zone. Maybe going out to somebody who doesn't know what to do with their dog, suggesting a kill-free zone for a dog, or trying to help them find a home for a dog. It can be changed, and with your help, it should be able to be done. Thank you.